Hello and happy Sunday. Well, it's sunny here. It's cold but sunny. It's a bit belty. Hi. So, welcome to my blog. My name is Rochelle, and I have a food blog, which I call a cookbook blog. So, it's a feedingacrowd.com, and there's no ads to it and no pop ups. So, guess what? It's like a cookbook. It's not like, when you go on other websites and you try to scroll past all the pop ups and the ads. So I hope you come and find me. I work really hard at this blog and website, and I just enjoy doing what I do. And I'm still on Pinterest. I am on Facebook and wow, and on Instagram. Sorry, a little bit not paying attention here. Come on, get with it, Rochelle. So here I am today. I think I'm a little bit touched today by, I woke up this morning and getting dressed, to go to church. And I picked this shirt, which I wear about once every year. And today I picked it, and as I grabbed it, it's a shirt. It's just a very mint green sweater. It's knitted, and it's my mom that knitted it for me when I was maybe 25 years old, 22, don't remember. And today's her birthday. So here's to you, Mom. I love wearing this sweater. I always get a lot of compliments for it. Mint green is not my color. It's not my favorite color. But this shirt, I don't know, anyone that knits will know that what she did here is a piece of art. And, she's passed away 10 years ago, over 10 years ago now. And as all parents, she was not a perfect mom. And as a human, she was not a perfect human. But she was a force of nature. She was a woman that did what she did, and she rarely asked forgiveness. She did it first and asked forgiveness later. And I think her strength shows in a lot of her own kids and grandkids now. She passed away before she saw my kids get married, which was really hard. I'm such a lousy person when it comes to that. And so she didn't meet the grandkids, and I wish she had. She died very young too. So sorry about that. Welcome to my blog again. I didn't mean to, it's just, it's my mom's birthday, and I'm glad I'm wearing the sweater she made for me. So moving on. This week's recipes, which I posted on my blog, were baked beans. As you know, here in Canada, it's going to be sugaring off season, especially in Quebec and Ontario, which means that we'll be making maple syrup. We have our own sugar shack up in the forest, not very far from here, and we have quite a few. We're able to make enough maple syrup for the whole family, which is great. And we sell off or we give away whatever we have, the rest that we don't think we'll use. So nothing goes to waste. And during those days, I don't go there as much now because I don't live as close. But during when my kids were young, we used to feed maybe 40, 30, 40, 50 people. And it's the women that made the food and brought it. We had two stoves, two wood-fueled stoves that we used to do all our cooking and baking. If you don't think we burnt food, we burnt food. And then the oven would go cold, and then the food was not cooked at all. But we learned and learned and worked hard at it. And eventually we had, we could use those stoves, and we were the mistresses of the wood burning stoves. So this week and the next coming weeks, I'll be working on Sugar Shack recipes, the traditional recipes that you find when you go to a Sugar Shack supper, meal, brunch, breakfast, and because I used to make them myself. So this week I came out with baked beans, maple baked beans. Everyone, baked beans is like spaghetti sauce, which I'm making today. So baked bean is like spaghetti sauce. Everyone has their own favorite. Some of them are super dark brown, and some of them are light brown, undercooked, overcooked, too much stuff, not enough stuff. Years ago, I came up with a balance of a recipe. And of course, it was found, the original recipe was found in my Laura Secours, the traditional Canadian cookbook book. I would show it to you, but it has no cover left because I used it too much. So that recipe came out this week, baked beans. There's so many tricks to making baked beans. Just so you know, I drained the water out twice. So you know how you put the navy beans in water, in cold water, and you let it overnight. Get rid of that water. Then when you add more water, you boil it. Get rid of that water again, and you'll see there'll be a lot less gas associated with the baked beans when you eat them. So it's a question of getting rid of the water after steeping them and then after boiling them. So that's a trick of the week regarding baked beans. Also, this week came the English muffins recipe. And, well, hello, Nicolo. Welcome to my blog. And indeed, I will not answer that. So, and then, so the English muffin recipe I started making when I was making a lot of bread. They're very expensive, and we love English muffins. They're also not that healthy, being made with completely, all-purpose white bread. So of course, I only use unbleached flour, and I could add my own spelt flour to it and make them healthier. And it's a lot less expensive. Today, buying a bag of 6 English muffins costs at least $5, even the cheaper brands. So, making them, you freeze whatever you don't need. It looks really hard, but it's not. The trick is when you put them to cook in my iron skillet, you cannot put it on high heat because it cooks only in the skillet. So your little English muffin, this big, cooks in that skillet, and you need to cook it through, right? So yeah, the English muffin recipe came out. Then Friday came out the lemon curd, lemon and garlic chicken. It's so easy to make. It's a family friendly because I use the back thighs, right? The back portion of a chicken thighs to make it. So it's very inexpensive. It's very easy to make. It's a one casserole dish. I usually, you don't have to, but I serve it over polenta. It would be good with rice or mashed potatoes, but I like serving it with the polenta because of the Mediterranean flavors like garlic and lemon. So that recipe came out. You make a big batch and then you have some for quite a few meals if you're less than 8 or 6 people. If you're a big family, you throw that in the oven, make your polenta in the meantime, and voila, you have an awesome meal for the family. Does the English muffin, you can make it with sourdough, and I think it would be a lot better. I did not know about sourdough. Well, I did know about it. I just wasn't going to make it 15 years ago or 8 years ago. Today, I would absolutely make it with sourdough because sourdough is not as tricky as we think. And by the way, remember, I do sell sourdough starter. I don't sell it expensive, and it's foolproof. It is my son and daughter's-in-law sourdough starter, which I dehydrate, package, and you get 3 packages for only $18. It's worth it because in 2 days, 3 days, you have sourdough starter that is unstoppable. You cannot kill Natalie and Michelle's sourdough starter. So remember that. If you ever need it, the website has it. And so those are the recipes I had last week. Go to my blog, feeding-a-crowd.com, and the recipes are there for this week. Next week, because I'm still talking about Sugar Shack season, I'm going to be posting a recipe that is made, so it's ham made in réduit. So it's a jambon au réduit d'érable. So it's a ham that you boil in maple water before it becomes maple syrup. Now, no one has maple water. Well, you can buy it today, but you couldn't then. So the best next thing is a good non-filtered apple juice. And you basically cook the ham in apple juice, and then you finish with a maple glaze. And you come out with something that's pretty similar. So, and you could even add a bit of, which it will be in my recipe. I do add some maple syrup to the apple juice to get that smoky flavor, or maple sugar. That recipe is coming out this week. Also, the recipe related to Sugar Shack season, or la cabane à sucre, is the omelet. The Sugar Shack typical omelet is not an omelet that we know of, because you have this egg mixture that has flour in it with the rest of everything, and you cook it in a iron skillet is your best friend here, guys. Every day, every time. So, I would not do this at all in a non-stick. Don't do it in a non-stick because you need a really hot pan and we don't ever heat up a non-stick above medium. It's dangerous for you. So use a stainless steel skillet or your iron skillet. And so the omelet you bake in that iron skillet and you throw it in a 450 oven and it puffs up, my friends. And it's absolutely gorgeous. So think of that. So this week that's coming out. And following the fact that it's winter, it's cold, and we want like comforting meals, my ossobuco for a crowd is also coming out. Yes, that's why. The recipe is coming out this week. And I wish I had a crowd to feed it to. Some of my kids will be happy. They're getting omelet this week and ham. The kids are enjoying all this cooking, you know. And the other thing is, a lot of people say, yeah, but I don't want to use flour. Or I don't use milk, or I don't. So here's my quote of the week for my people. Do not make a recipe because of one wrong ingredient. Substitution is the key when cooking and baking. When you're cooking and baking, you're the artist, you're the creator. If you don't have something, replace it. If you don't know what to do, contact me. I'll help you. And then I can't help you there, Nick. I just can't. so, so Nick says, don't know if I count as a crowd, but I eat a lot. Well, I don't know you'd eat all that. Thank you, La Flèche. Thank you. Hey, guys, remember to do the thumbs up. YouTube loves it when you do thumbs up. And thank you for talking to me in chat. That really helps too. It makes it less, I'm talking to myself. So thank you, guys. So last week I brought up the fact that we should not be using black plastic utensils. They're poison. Don't use them. We don't care if they're just a little bit poison. And we don't care if one company says it, but we don't make it with BPA. Yeah, but we stopped using this material. They're replacing it with other crap. You know what? Try not to use them. So someone said, yeah, but your wooden utensils. So I'm going to present to you. I don't have the flat one right now because I used it. The one I showed last week, I don't have it because I think it's still, it is there. But it's still drying from me using it for the eggs this morning. This is a wooden spoon that I bought at a very cheap store. There's paint on it. You know why? Because I had bought maybe 40 and I had painted all the tips for my sister's wedding shower. This spoon is at least 20 years old. It's still amazing. It never broke. It's good. It's wood. It stays disinfected. Wooden utensils, people. Let's stick to wooden and spatulas, I understand. But whatever you're cooking with, try to use wood. This spoon, it's broken because it fell. I don't care. So this is a ladle. It used to belong to my uncle. My uncle is at least 90. He's long gone. Okay, so he had this. This ladle we've used for everything. Do I leave my wooden spoons in my sauces like this one? Sure, I know my spaghetti sauce is ready when I put it in and it won't move. Good, happy spaghetti sauce. Use wood, people. Ladle. This ladle I got recently, maybe 10 years ago. I keep it oiled because it's still a newish wood. Isn't that beautiful? People make these. They're wood. They stay good forever. And also they're great to beat up. This is the one I used to do my pomegranate because it fits perfectly when I hit the pomegranate. Take out the seeds. See, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with wooden. See, this is another flat spatula I use for absolutely everything. It has holes in it, like the ones you can buy with the holes in it. No reason to buy black plastic utensils. Get rid of them. Okay, so these are 4 of my favorite utensils. They're not expensive. Canadian Tire has them. They're everywhere. I think the dollar store has some. Can't tell you where they're made, though. Can't guarantee anything from the dollar store. There. Yeah, don't put them in the dishwasher. This one goes in the dishwasher because it's so old, it don't care. But all the others, never put in the dishwasher. So thank you, Lafesh, for reminding me. Hi, Evelyn. I hope we were just talking about wooden utensils and getting rid of the plastic utensils, especially the ones we cook with. Heat and plastic do not go together. Get rid of the plastic. Please do like my, add something. Happy you're saying hi. And do the thumbs up thing. So yeah. So last week I talked about eating other kinds of food. So I was talking with my friend La Flèche here, and you know what? If you cook rabbit, you're gonna do it the Italian way. You know why we do it the Italian way? We do it the Italian way because they've been cooking rabbit a long time. We have not. And frankly, old-fashioned Quebec food tends to be tough. Well, there you go, Evelyn. That's why I said this one has been going in the dishwasher a long time. Others, this one could probably, it's at least 50 years old. So yeah, but some of them like this beauty here, and it's not been oiled enough. What happens? Okay, so forget the rabbit thing for a minute. Here's the thing. This one has been in sauces a lot. It's like permanently um good, because whenever we use to cook at food, there's natural oils that get into the wood, and so it starts to become tougher. It becomes like an old little angry granny that will, live forever. Okay. Same with this one. This one is at least 20 years old. Well, yeah, but you don't need to. I don't always oil mine, Nick, but I do. Like I said, these will go in the dishwasher, and this one not. It's still too new. It's about only 4 years old. I oiled it this morning. I'm not using it enough for it not to for the dryer to crack it. Okay, so because I don't want it to dry in the dishwasher, I'm not putting this one in the dishwasher. Does that make sense, people? Okay, so that's why, I don't suggest putting new wooden utensils, but I like the fact that you can boil it. Of course, if you're boiling it in oil, then it means the oil goes in. So it's a natural way of leaving your spoons and sauces, right? I respect that. Okay, so back to the rabbit. So we'll be cooking rabbit, some of us. If anyone wants to join us, I'm going to go to Mayrand's, to a store in Montreal, and I'm going to buy a whole rabbit. Okay, a whole rabbit doesn't feed that many people. Rabbits are not big animals. And I'm going to be cooking a rabbit Italian style. It's actually not hard. They have everything in this book. They tell you all the ways that they did it. Like they found the perfect way of cooking a rabbit. A lot of people cook rabbit. Yes, a fish. We're making rabbit. Evelyn, you want to make rabbit? Nicola, you're fine. You bring the wine. Yeah, bring good wine. And we need white wine to cook the rabbit. It's going to be braised rabbit in white wine. If anyone doesn't like olive, they need to say. But yeah, we're going to be cooking rabbit. How's that, people? Okay, because we were talking about not eating enough bones. We don't eat enough meat with the bone in, and that's why everyone has arthritis. That's something I think. Doesn't mean it's true. Speaking of which, that's why I'm coming out my ossobuco recipe next week. Bones, people. We're doing bones. And ossobuco is not as cheap as it used to. But when I go to Mayrand's, the bone marrow is super cheap. And I'm going, you always have to put good wine in food. Putting bad wine in food is just bad. Dear Lord, people. So we're going to be cooking rabbit. I don't know when and how, but we're going to try to make videos, okay? Like little sections of videos, because I plan on doing more reels, because it makes no sense. I have many things that I need to show and not just write about. So more reels for me on probably on Facebook, well, everywhere. So I need to get my stuff together to be able to make more reels. Rabbit coming out Italian way. So today I said I would talk about Julie and Julia, because we've been talking about Julia Child. And I want to get an excerpt for her, because last week I did a really bad impersonation of Julia Child. And I would do it right now. It's very hard for me not to do, because I absolutely, I'm not going to do it. How she bobbed her head and talked, and, her high voice, and she gargled a lot. Anyways, I think that she's an amazing person. I absolutely watched her when it was black and white on PBS. So no house wine, no soup for you. So, and I don't know if any of you watched Julie and Julia. I watched it maybe 18 years ago, 15 years, when it came out, right? And I read about her this morning, and I'm so sorry, but Julie Powell has passed away at the age of 49. Talked about passing away at a young age. It's pretty traumatizing. Now I feel like I shouldn't say anything about her. So I'm not going to talk about her personally. I'm going to talk about the movie, where I felt that when I watched it, because I'm an older woman, I related, and I feel that I related a lot to Julia Child because of her passion, because of her impatience, because when she was cutting those onions, that's what I do. I like do it until I'm good at it. Like it doesn't matter if I cut off a finger. I'm just going to wrap the finger. Well, I should have done that when working in restaurants. Lost the tip of my finger and worked another 6 hours. Yeah, my daughter knows about that. It's pretty disgusting. And then you bought her book. There you go. How's the book, La Flèche? Tell me about that. I didn't buy her book because I had Julia Child's book. But yeah. So when I watched the movie, I related a lot. I loved all the sections about Julia Child and with her husband. What an awesome love story. Like, wow, that guy. Anyway, so and his signature is in my Julia Child book. So, love them both. Paul is his name. And so I wanted to talk about that more today, because when I watched the movie, and then we had supper, so I watched it twice. We made a Julia Child supper, right? And we all baked and cooked from her books and her recipes, and it was an amazing supper. And to me, when I watched the movie, Julie was so self-centered, and so it was just so she of course she was going through a crisis, an existential crisis. And it just was painful to watch for me. It's like, yeah. And so, but whenever then it would turn back to Julia Child, I was like, oh my God, I could watch her all day. But of course, I had already watched her in black and white on PBS. So watching her in color, and Meryl Streep is such a good actress. They could not have picked a better actress to do Julia Child. And so, but what are your opinions? Like, who did you relate more to, Julie or Julia? I'm old, so of course I related to Julia, and picky and fussy, and I'm a curmudgeon, just like her. I would have told Julie the same thing at the end. See, I'm not the only one that felt about that like Julie. Anyone else has a opinion? Evelyn, do you have an opinion about Julie and Julia and Julie? And if we do a supper, are you coming, Evelyn? So yeah. Anyone else? And we're going to have the Julie and Julia supper party. We're going to watch the movie again, and I'm going to try not to criticize Julie. My kids hate it. They hate watching movies with me. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Well, Evelyn, you're going to have to make food too, because everyone's going to bring a platter. Oh, it's a movie, Nick. If you want to watch something that's relaxing and fun and all about food, watch that movie. I mean, watch it with Julia. You're Julia. And no, it's a really fun food. I love watching food movies. Like I would next week. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. Next week, I'm going to have my favorite food movies. How's that? Favorite? I watched some that broke my heart. Like I watched some that, yeah, like that were so good. So and you know how they capture the food. See, there you go. We all love Meryl Streep as Julia, because Julie came out a bit as a little whining, self-centered person. But apparently she was like that in real life, like for real. She was very up and down. So, and I said she passed away so young, we can't, you can't criticize a dead person. I don't believe in that, by the way. I don't believe in you don't make someone into a saint because they're dead. They still did what they did, good and bad. Now I'm being like Julia Child. Okay, moving on. Next week, people, because time flies when you're having fun. Next week, a very good listener, thank you, my dear, brought along talk about stainless steel. This is a whole new thing for me. Did you know that I did not know that other people did not only have stainless steel in their houses? So next week, we're going to be talking about stainless steel cookware. I don't know any actresses either. I know like just a few, that stick to my mind. but no, I'm very bad with actors' names. So what's the movie? So next week we'll be talking about, because one of my sons need to buy a whole set. And so next week, I'm not going to do it now because I need topics for next week. Okay. So next week, we're going to be talking about good stainless steel cookware. Nick, give me the name of that movie, because if I don't know it, I'm going to watch it this week because I have time on my hands while I knit. Not, I don't knit as well as my mom. Did you know, guys, this my mom made this for me? Today's her birthday. So here's to my mom. Thank you, Mom. I picked it this morning, not remembering it was her birthday, and then I remembered. Life is so weird when you're connected to people. And so, yes. So next we will be talking about stainless steel. I know what I know. I know which one are good, and I don't believe in buying cheap stuff. I also believe that you need to be careful about what you buy. So we'll talk about that next week. We're going to talk about our favorite food movies. I might watch a few more this week. I love the one that were full. Like there's one, it's in French or French. Anyways, look, guys, there's good food movies for people that love food and good stories. So next week I'll be talking about that. Any other topic for next week you'd like to see? Of course, I'll be talking about the recipes I've had. It won't be my mom's birthday next week, so I won't be talking about her. Even though I might say hi if she's around. Also, I'm gonna go. I decided I'm like that. I'm gonna try to find one discovery a week and one rant a week. So next week, what should I rant about? Ratatouille. Indeed, that's a very good movie. By the way, there's gazillion ways of making ratatouille, and I don't like the original way. I like my way. And I'm pretty sure I have a recipe on my blog, and I shouldn't. Anyways, I'm going to repost. I'm going to revamp and repost it. It is gross, but the way I make it, it's beautiful, it's colorful, and it's not mushy and weird. Just like all the food I make, you got to make it good, and it's got to look good. It's very hard to make baked beans look good. Got to have a lot of lard in there and meat and stuff, and yeah, some foods it's hard to make look good. So did I go on? No, today I didn't go on a rant. Today I paid homage to my mom. That replaced the rant. Last week my rant was about the plastic utensils. Your favorite version is grilled. Oh, ratatouille grilled. Yes, yes, yes. I turned that into a salad. You're right. So rant. Oh my God, I had so much I can rant about. Imagine if I went on traffic rants. I could go on all day posting about traffic rants. I won't do that. I'll stick to food, books, and people. And trends. Trends, people. We gotta be careful about trends. So trends. Next week I'll be ranting about trends. How's that, people? See, thank God you're there to make me think. So today I'm making spaghetti. As some of you know, it's sort of cold and windy. Actually, it's not cold compared to this week. And I just feel like spaghetti today. So I'm making spaghetti and panna cotta for dessert. My son and daughter-in-law are coming today. So panna cotta for tonight for dessert, and spaghetti for supper. Early supper, because it's Sunday. And we know why. Trends. I'm not going to be talking, have a rant on trends. Evelyn, really, you must be laughing. You're laughing at me. You terrible child, you. Trends. There's food trends that should never happen. Trends. I'll pick one and destroy it. I know you are laughing at me, with me. I'm laughing with you. I love coming here and laughing at myself. I'm going to do the Julia Child laugh. Okay. So next week, that's what's happening. Stainless steel, the recipes, favorite food movies, guys. Think of that this week. And then rant. Is there anything else? I think we're good. We're good. Remember, when you cook, you're the creator and you're the artist. Have fun this week, guys. And I'll see you next week. Like, share this. Tell people, hey, she's fun. Please, people, come on. Let's talk food. Let's talk preservation. Let's talk gardening. Oh my God. I have my basil came out and I planted it 5 days ago. Woo. Okay. So share to your people, your family, your cousins. Let's do this, people. Let's get this going. By the way, I'm going French every Tuesday or Wednesdays. I'll be doing French, not on YouTube, unfortunately. And some of you don't have the other, but still, I was asked to do French, and I am French. Okay, so je vais parler de la cabane à sucre, je pense. Guys, take care. Thank you. You guys are the best. So here's to all of you. All right. Bye.